What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we are now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows? Maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the year. Only time will tell. But as I've said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed, the possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare from this set. But it wouldn't be the first time that I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did a few months back is a collector's rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't matter because I am going to be getting this graded at some point. Just really never came up with the time to do so. But with that being said, excuse me. With that being said, if you guys want to see those boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue. Maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue. Deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. Or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this. This is a bit of a weird one, but I want to get your guys' opinion. What is your favorite rarity from Yu-Gi-Oh? Let me know down in the comments below. And for today's video, we have another 7 new cards that we will be talking about in Phantom Nightmare. This set already has been red hot since the announcement of the new Yu-Bell support, which honestly we were expecting Yu-Bell to finally get support after all these years, and it's just been red hot since then. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's get straight into it. It is all just a bunch of random miscellaneous monsters for today's video. So let's get straight into it. Kicking things off, we have Time Rewinder, which is an 8-star light machine with 1200 attack, 2400 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads, if a monster on the field is flipped face up during the main phase, you can special summon this card from your hand, then change one face of monster on the field to face down defense. Second effect reads, if this card is flipped face up during the main phase, you can target one monster in your grave, special summon it in defense, then change one face of monster on the field to face down defense. So funny enough, this card can actually work against Morphing Jar, because now with Morphing Jar legal at 1, it's a pretty broken card if you ask me. So if your opponent if your opponent flips up Morphing Jar and they use its effect, you can Cyber Dragon this card from your hand, and not only did you unbrick your hand, but you've also gotten essentially five free cards, especially if this card was the only card in your hand. So essentially it basically was a free draw 5 basically. And not only that, it also has not one but 2 Book of Moon effects, which honestly is pretty good. So this is actually not too bad, but it does have a bit of a drawback, and the drawback is that is that if you want to use this card's second effect, you literally need to use this card's first effect and flip itself face down, and then flip it back face up to use its second effect. So that's like the only drawback, but honestly, it's not too bad. Although I don't know what decks could work with this card. What decks this card can work with? Not really sure. I guess maybe oh, what's that? It's one of the newer archetypes that I just talked about on the channel that I think the whole archetype has the Book of Moon effect. It's that archetype. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me know in the comments, because I don't remember, but it was that one archetype. I don't remember the name of it though. But next up we have Berserk Archfiend, which is a 6-star Dark Fiend with 2000 attack, 0 defense, and the first effect is a once per turn, which reads, you can target up to 2 face-up monsters you control, including a fiend monster. Special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, destroy those monsters. So ironically enough, I think Dark World could really work well with this. Could really work with this card, mainly because of the fact that excuse me. Mainly because of the fact that if your opponent locks you out of your synchros, and you have tuner monsters on board, you can just destroy those 2 tuner monsters, special summon this card, and you can instantly you can still go into your fusion plays, which now Dark World has 2 fusions: Colorless Chaos King of Dark World and Graphite Dragon Overlord of Dark World, which are both absolutely incredible. So that's actually not bad. Although I will admit this is a bit of a weird one, because you could run this with a pure Archfiend deck, but Archfiends back in the day, you know back when you had cards like Deathstroke Archfiend and and Infernal Queen Archfiend and whatnot, they had some pretty nasty drawbacks. So I don't know if this card could work well with Dark World, or if it can work with like the Live Twin, Evil Twin archetype, because I mean, it's possible, but we will see. The second effect says when a monster is destroyed by this card's first effect, you can target an equal number of face-up monsters your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to those monsters' total original attack until the end of your next turn. To be fair, this could have the potential to win games, but it depends on what the board state looks like. So, excuse me. So it does have a pretty interesting drawback. Next up, we have A Stranger Big Bang. That's what she said. Anyway, it is a 5-star light warrior with 2100 attack, 500 defense, and all 3 of its effects are are once per turn. The first effect says, if a monster special summon from the extra deck... Sorry, if a monster special summon from the extra deck is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. So it's essentially Cyber Dragon, basically. It's literally not much else to say about that first effect. Second effect reads, during your main phase, you can reduce the levels of as many other face-up monsters currently on the field as possible by 1, and if you do increase this card by the number of monsters whose level was reduced this way. So funny enough, this card can work well with Galaxy Eyes. That's the funny thing, because if you're trying to go into a rank, rank 8 and you don't have enough resources to do so, this card basically ensures that that itself can become level 8, which is pretty insane. Which is pretty insane. But then again, because that it's a level 5, it could go up to like 9 or maybe a rank 10 XC summon, but for the most part, this card could work pretty well with Galaxy Eyes, which I've been meaning to update that deck for quite some time, but I don't think it needs to anymore. At least not for a while anyway. But the third effect says during your battle phase or your opponent's main phase, if this card is level 8 or higher, as a quick effect, you can destroy one other card on the field, and if you do, this card's level becomes 5. So yeah, that's a bit of a drawback. That's like the drawback, because if you made this card's level 8, and you use this third effect, it goes back down to its original level, which is a bit of a downside. Although Cyber Dragon could also run this card, could also play this card, especially if you were going into Concealer Pleiades, because Pleiades just requires two light monsters, and that's it. And that's pretty much it. So I guess best of both worlds, I guess? I don't know, guys. But next up we have Doyu Chatsubo. I have never seen that ever. I don't know. Control C. Let's look up its name. Let's see what it stands for. Let's take a look. Let's see. Okay. Now we go here, then we look for Japanese. Okay, so apparently it means hello Chatsubo in Japanese. So that's kind of funny. That's actually kind of hilarious. but it's a 3-star dark zombie tuner with 500 attack, 0 defense, and its second and third effects are once per turn. The first effect reads: face down defense position monsters in this card's column cannot change their battle positions. Neither player can activate set cards in this card's column's spell and trap zones. So basically, it just ensures that your opponent can't play their imperm or their floodgates if they set back row in that column, which is pretty nasty. So if you summon this card into that column, their back row in that column would be useless. So that's pretty relevant, to be honest. Second effect reads. Excuse me. Excuse me. The second effect reads, during your main phase, you can move this card to an unused adjacent main monster zone. So just by that effect, just with that effect alone, I think we can all assume that Mech Knight Invoked would benefit from having this card in the deck because just because of these two effects. Plain simple. And funny enough, I think Makaba, isn't Makaba a level 8? Yeah, I think Makaba is a level 8. So it would be Makaba plus this equals Psychic and Punisher, which is a level 11, and then you can activate Monster Reborn, resummon the invoked Makaba, and you pretty much have an unbeatable board, just right there, because you have Psychic and Punisher that can easily win games just by gaining attack depending on the difference between your life points and your opponent's, and you also have an Omni negate in the form of the Invoke Makaba. So those two plus Underworld Goddess or even Appaloosa for 4, that's a nasty board right there. Although I have been tempted to build Mech Knight Invoked, but I never really figured out what the build is. So if you guys do have any recipes for Invoked Mech Knight, let me know down in the comments below. The third effect says if this card is moved from a monster zone to another, change all monsters in its column to face down defense. So this is essentially your Book of Moon for the whole deck, but on steroids, basically. So not much to say about that. So next up we have Principug. Yeah, Principug, which is a 1-star Earth Beast. 0 attack and defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. The first effect says you can target one face-up monster you control that cannot be normal summon or set with Guardian in its original name. It can make a second attack during each battle phase this turn. Second effect says you can banish this card from your grave, target one Guardian monster in your grave that cannot be normal summon or set to activate one of these effects. Add it to your hand. Add one card mentioned on it from your grave to your hand. Excuse me. So I think we can assume Gate Guardian could benefit from this card because those cards have Guardian in their name, as in Gate Guardian. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. I mean it does look like a bit of a gimmicky card because the Gate Guardian deck, when it was announced, when the archetype was announced in Maze of Memories, a lot of people were playing that deck as like a tier 0 deck. Now because that we have the announcement of Dark Guardian finally printed after all these years. I don't know if the deck could still be tier 0 or if it's more of a rogue deck. Me personally, I think it's more of a rogue deck, just because of the fact that Gate Guardian, the original Gate Guardian was always impossible to summon because of the fact that you had to use up literally 60% of your monster zones to summon not only Sangha but also Kazejin and Suijin, and then send them to your graveyard to summon Gate Guardian. So it took quite a bit of setup. Nowadays, with the new support, you don't need all that much setup. All you need is like what, 2 spells and that's it. Like two spells, play them, boom. Boom, Gate Guardian on board. Simple. So this card is a bit of a gimmicky card, but honestly, it is pretty cool. It's a way to get cards back into your hand, especially if they were some of your main combo pieces that your opponent just randomly negated for no apparent reason. That's not bad. Not bad. Speaking of random animals on cards, we have Dinos Stacking. Yeah, I don't know what the hell that's about, but it's basically a rhino doing magic tricks while wearing a crown. Literally. But it's a 1-star Earth Beast with 600 attack and defense, and the effect is a once per turn, which reads when a card or effect is activated, even during the damage step, as a quick effect, you can roll a 6-sided die and apply this effect based on this effect's chain link number. This card gains attack equal to the result times 500 until the end of the turn. 3, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the result times 500. 4 or higher, destroy cards on the field up to the result. So funny enough, if your opponent activated like let's say you were going up against Eldritch and they played all their back row, which is all floodgates. Chainlink 1 would be what Sanguine. Another would be what Conquistador. Then Summon Limit, and then I'll say Tika, there can be only one, and we'll say Anti-Spell. We'll say no. Skill Drain? Yeah. We'll say Skill Drain. We'll say Skill Drain. That would be Chainlink 5. This card would be Chainlink 6, and you could roll a die. And if it comes up to 5, guess what? You can basically Harvey's Feather Duster your opponent's entire back row, and they will have nothing. They would literally have nothing on board. So this card could really work against Eldritch, but it all depends on what floodgates they choose to set. What floodgates they chose to activate. It all just depends. But that's actually not bad. I don't know what deck this card could be useful in. I want to say maybe X Sabers. I don't know. That's something I'm gonna have to figure out once this deck gets released. But I think we have one more card to talk about in today's video. Yes, we do. We have one more card to talk about, and it's probably one of the. Actually, I'm looking at this card's effect. It's not bad. I think this card could really work with Dragon Lace, in my personal opinion. But it's known as Moon Haze Dragon Vagnawa, which is a 7-star Dark Dragon Synchro with 1500 attack and defense, and requires a tuner and one or more non-tuners, so it's pretty generic. And the effect is a once per turn that reads, if this card is synchro summoned, you can make it gain attack equal to the total levels of the non-tuners used as its material times 300 until the end of the next turn. Then inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level of the tuner used as its material times 300. So that's actually not bad. That's not bad. It's a good way to ensure that you can push over your opponent's Appaloosa, pretty much like any like problematic card that your opponent your opponent will have. So that's not bad. Dragon Links could potentially benefit from this card. Not entirely sure though, but I will say this. I will say this: looking at looking at its artwork, it looks like something out of oh, what's that one? It's that one anime that I just saw, that I saw a long time ago. What was it? Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid? Something like that. I don't. No, 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 no. It's not that. It's something else. Oh my god, I can't think of the name. It was on Netflix. It was on Netflix. I don't remember it. I don't remember it. I'm gonna have to look it up on Netflix. But it reminded me of one of those anime. But with that being said, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.